All right, welcome to Love Audio's YouTube channel. My name is Paul Webber, the host of the show. Thank you very much indeed for joining. It's great to have you along this evening, this afternoon, or this morning, wherever time it is, where you are watching this or listening to this around the world. Please do let us know in the comments. Let us know where you're from, especially if you're new here. Now, what is Love Audio production all about? Basically, it's a safe, fun, friendly, and hopefully entertaining and informative platform where you can learn the basics in audio production. So if you're on board with that, give it a big thumbs up and a big like, and we'll get on with it. Now, as you probably noticed from the countdown timer and from the thumbnail that I've published for this particular video, I have a special guest with me today. He's been on the show before, but it's great to welcome him back. Please put your hands together and welcome onto the stage Mr. Wayne Cole.
Hello. Hello, Paul.
Oh, yes. It worked that time. In pre-production, it was just chaos and it didn't really work with a blank screen and all that kind of stuff. But you're here now.
Oh, yes.
So how's things in South Wales? How's the good old South Wales doing?
It's good. The sun is breaking through this morning. It's good. It's going to be about 17 degrees from Wales. That's good. That's good. No one's complaining about that. So yeah, happy days. And I'm off work today as well. That's a bonus.
That is a bonus. Glad to have you on, of course, which is brilliant. And we're going to be doing a little bit of production, but using your stems that you've pre-produced and you've kindly dropped into a folder for me, and we're going to have those on screen, and we're going to put those into a production and see what we can come up with. So it's going to be a little bit different today, but I'm glad to say that we're here to experiment, and we'll see how that goes. If you're happy with that, then we can get started. Okay. So what I've done, Wayne, is got an instance of PreSonus Studio One 5.5.2. Pro, which is the latest software. So we'll get that on now, and here's how that looks. And as you can see, what I've done is loaded up 10 files, 10 tracks really, that we can put those stems into. So just give us a bit of background as to what you've come up with before we start loading those in. What kind of tracks are we looking to hear?
Well, this initially started off with me experimenting with sort of a pop sort of style or genre. So it's quite slow as it keeps in line with today's pop. So it's about 108 BPM, but we can adjust that. We can change that as we go through the process, if necessary. And I've left any major ideas for melody out. There is melody in there, but I've left those a major idea for a melody out for your own creativity, basically. It's one thing to use stems, but people want to put their own stamp on it too. Otherwise, it might feel like you haven't created anything at all, and you've just like bundled together a jigsaw puzzle of samples.
Yeah,
the stems are all.
Sorry to interrupt, Wayne. That's kind of what I do. If I'm working with stems, I drag those samples in, and cobble together a 2-minute piece or whatever it might be, using different stems and putting them in different orders to create the ebb and flow of the song. I'm not a musician, so I don't profess to be able to play anything like that. I would probably play by ear and play along to melody, but as regards writing anything, it's all done on the fly. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today.
Absolutely. So all these stems are wet. Ideally, if we were doing this more seriously, we'd have wet, dry, and wrapped. I don't know. Do you want me to explain wrapped samples and loops?
Yeah, for those who are watching for the first time, or maybe they're into production for the first time and they're wondering what a stem is and that kind of thing. Just talk through what your idea of a stem is and what a wrap is, and what your spin on it is.
There we go. So basically, a wrapped stem. Well, as you know, with any kind of sample, there's a start and an end. And when that piece ends, there's a tail off. It could be the reverb. It just could be the instrument finishing its note or whatever. Now, if that was wet, it'd just be left to play out, and you'd need that. If it was to be dry for the producer to employ their own effects, it would be ideal to have them dry. And then there's no play out. That just cuts off. So the stem comes to the end, the 4 beats, the 8 beats, the 16-beat phrase, whatever it is, it will just stop dead. And then there's the wrapped version. So it would play wet, and that wet end that would normally tail off is then wrapped around to the front. It's as simple as that.
Okay. That's interesting. And I noticed that when we first spoke just now, you mentioned that your stems are at 108 BPMs. Is that correct?
I believe so, yeah. It's a while since I looked at these ones, but I believe they're 108. 108, okay. I'm sure they are. Well, I can pull up.
What I'm going to do in that case is change the BPMs, because it's 120 is the default BPMs down here. But I want to go to song setup just briefly, because there's a thing here that says stretch audio files to song tempo, okay?
Right.
So what I want to do is tick that box and apply and click OK, and then come down here and change this to, we're assuming 108. 108 is quite slow compared to 120. So are you sure about that?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay. We're in your hands. And
I can be wrong. I want to open up the FL Studio now and have a look, because just to be on the safe side, but we'll soon know if it's wrong. I mean, as far as I'm aware, I saved these with the BPM info intact.
Yeah.
Because that would be the normal process.
Okay, fair enough.
So the stem itself will know what it is.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, well, hopefully now I've changed those parameters. If we drag a stem in, it will automatically snap to grid, and it'll be 108 beats per minute. If it's any different, then we'll probably know that. But because I've ticked the box that says stretch audio files to BPM, to the project BPM, which is 108, then it should snap to grid and it should be fine. So let's try that now. We've got a file here with some of the stems in it that you've kindly donated. So what would you like us to start with?
I think we'll just start with the drum kit, or the drum beats, the kicks.
Okay.
So
we're starting with a kick. You've got kick 13 here, I'm assuming. The attack kick, is that the one?
Let me see. I can't see that. You'll have to drag it over a little bit more for me to see.
I beg your pardon, yeah, because it's slightly off screen, so let me do that first.
So I would go with drum loop 1A. Hang on. 1A.
Oh, attack kick.
You're in the right place.
1A, 13, yeah?
1A attack kick. Yes.
Okay. Let's drag that into number 1. There we go. Okay. So it looks like it's to the bar. Now, when I play this now, he says...
We'll see if it transposes, if it's wrong.
Like that? Can you hear that?
Yep, so I can hear that. It sounds a little bit dull, but try it again.
That's purely as we've got it from you.
Yeah, and then...
I can put a click track on it if you want to just make sure.
Yeah, let's make sure we've got metronome on it, yeah.
Yep, that's okay. And we'll have a pre-roll of a bar. Pre-roll of 1 bar. That's fine. Click in play, yes. That's fine. So, for instance, if we double-click back to the beginning. So you can hear the click.
There we are.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, so if you were to add in another one...
Yep.
And we just copy and paste that one over, or...
Oh, another instance of it, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. I would put 3 of these in.
Okay.
And they will overlap because obviously being wet, there is a slight, outplay, so to speak.
What I can do is right click. Let's have a look at. Sorry about this. Right click and paste. Come on. Let's paste. Okay, come on.
I would copy it again and see if it
paste. Okay, so it's overlapped. So let's go back to the beginning and make sure they play in sync.
Yeah, they should do.
It does come in a little quick, actually.
I'm just a little bit miffed by that first beat. Although I can see visually that it's loud enough, it's not coming through loud enough.
Okay.
That first kick.
That might be because of the gate on the software. It's stopping you from hearing that properly, so that might be the case.
Because that should be the loudest beat.
And that doesn't sound like it's in time, so we just have to just kind of move that across a bit, perhaps. It's not going to time, so maybe the BPMs are slightly different to what we anticipated.
If you play it, and I'll count it, and because there are additional beats in there at a lower level, so not to be confused with the main kick drum.
Yeah, I get that. So dum dum da da dum.
So if you want to loop it, can you play it back looped?
Yes, I can.
And I'll just double check that nothing's wrong with the BPM there. There we go.
Let's do it to there.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a timing issue, isn't it? When you see whether your number 24 is.
Yep.
If that's that is it's over a little bit too much.
Yep, that's fine. So what I can do is
So firing late.
Yeah. Let's try that again.
That's too early now.
Yeah, but we're getting the drum beat on 2 is coming in fine. But 2.4, as you say, is slightly late. Or no, it's on time now, but I've moved it. So if I move it back to where it was, which is there.
It should snap perfectly, so it could be an issue with the BPM itself.
Yeah, I know. Because it's slightly longer than the 2 bars. That's the point. That's why it's not snapping
I see
directly.
what's happened now because it's stretched. Yeah, because it's stretched in the software.
Yep.
Maybe unstretch it.
Okay, give me 2 seconds then. Let's go to song setup. Untick that. Click apply. Click OK. And
I'm not
we'll
sure it's made much difference. Or would we have to load them again?
Start again. And then we'll bring those in again. So one of those. It's still going past the 2 bar mark there, Wayne.
I can still see it's missing as well. I can see your line markers here. So for each bar, and it is out. So maybe we adjust the BPM then.
Yeah.
So we want to move these beats backwards. So does your BPM have to go forward? If anyone's watching,
and anybody good at maths,
I'm sure there are people watching. Yeah, people watching thinking, "Oh, I thought they knew how to do this."
Yeah, well, no,
this is music production
you know
for you.
No,
this is how it works.
This is the whole point of the channel. Is that I'm no expert, and therefore I'm bumbling through the whole thing with input from the viewers and from guests and all that kind of stuff. So this is exactly what we're doing. Is that we are doing it from a beginner's standpoint. We're not in it because we're massive producers of drum and bass or EDM and all that kind of stuff. We're just we're playing with it.
We're playing with it, and we use different software as well. So I would know now what to do in my software, the software that I use.
Yep.
But I don't know what Paul needs to do here. So we will just bumble through it, just as Paul said, as beginners.
No, that's 110. I reckon it's less.
I'm wondering if that's gone even further, is it? So it's got to come slower, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what
I wanted to do. So 106. If I go 106, we're getting there. See that?
Yeah, I was wondering if I open FL Studio, will that interfere with all my sound in this connection?
I reckon it's even 105.
Go for it. It's starting to look much better now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. If for
that's
your beginners out
much
there,
better, to be honest.
You get this wrong.
Your 104 might take it down too much. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Try it. You're going to try it. We just revert it back, isn't it? That's how I make music. I just try stuff.
Yep. So we go 104.
But I was just going to say to the viewers that if you get your timing wrong, you'll get everything wrong.
So that looks spot on now. That's lining up with bar 2. So
I told you a lie at the beginning then. It wasn't 108. If
I duplicate that, look, that lines up perfectly. So if we go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
That's on a loop. So to me, that's perfect. That lines up with the click track as well.
Yeah, we got there. So I'd given you the wrong information to begin with. So that's my fault.
That's
my bad.
Okay, so now we've got the 2 beats of the drum. What else would you like in there?
Shall we just keep with the drum kit and
can do.
Stick some hi-hats in there?
No problem. So you've got drum loop 1A, attack hat 07 number 2.
Okay, so 1A, put that in twice.
Okay. What I can do, Wayne, is just literally right-click and duplicate. Like that.
There we are.
So we play that.
starting
Yeah.
to sound like something already, isn't it?
Oh, of
It's
course. That's
just
the
that
whole idea. Yeah, brilliant.
just that I think there's those kicks are being gated. That's the only thing I'm concerned with at the minute. So we
Well, they
can't really
might
hear
be
the
at your
power of
end,
them.
but certainly from my end, it's sounding great. So
Oh, that's fine then. Okay, I'm happy
that
with
might
that.
be because the honestly the kick is coming in really strong.
All right, there we are. Yeah, I'd be happy with this. In fact, if you swap, I know this is a pain in the ass. If you
That's all
swap
right.
out the second loop of the kick drum
Yep.
for the same version, but one, I think it's 2A.
Okay. No problem at all. Let's
So it would be
go with
drum
that.
loop 2A, I think it will be.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we go to 2A kick and whack that in there instead. Okay, I'm going to snap to grid. Just
Very wise.
so that changes slightly. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a very slight change in there. So what we'll do then is this will be our intro. We'll keep a nice, short, simple intro.
Yep.
So we'll kick off straight away.
Yeah.
There we are. We're getting somewhere.
So it works.
It's so simple, but I just love it.
Yeah.
What we do next then is up to you, because
Okay.
you could copy and paste all that. Add, I think there's a snare. Is there a snare in there? In that loop
Yeah, you've got a
somewhere?
fracture snare. Excuse me, fracture snare 15, 1A, and you've got a fracture snare 15, 2A as well.
Right. Just to reiterate, there's all the twos go together.
Yep.
And all the ones go together.
That's
It
fair
just
enough.
makes perfect sense.
So what I
So
can do.
if you are going to use that second, if you're going to use number 2,
Yep.
I originally created those for a slight transition or for variance.
Okay.
So use the other number 2 to go with it, so that would match up with the snares and the hi-hats and
That's
so on.
fine.
It gives
So
you a little
on-
tiny fill as well.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, on this particular set of 4 samples that we've got already, do you want me to duplicate those?
Can do, yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So we just highlight that, right click, and duplicate. Stuck it way over there for some reason. Hang on a second. There we go.
No.
So
And on that, so on those, on bars 3 and 4, at your preference,
Yep.
you could add in your snare drums, maybe claps, maybe your bass line. I'll leave it up to you, to be honest with you.
that's fine. So no problem at all.
You know,
So
how
what we
you
have
ha-
on the bars 3 and 4 then would be let's have a look here. Fracture snare 1A. I'm gonna pop that in there. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna change things up slightly and just put clap 4 in there instead. So then what we have at the beginning is this. Might put a fill in there instead.
I was thinking, because the claps, don't confuse the claps with the snares, because you've got them on the same channel there. I would
Yeah.
put it on a separate channel if you're going to switch to the clap. I would have left the snare in place and
Yep.
done another snare, but used the 2A, because I
Yep.
believe there's a slight fill on that.
Oh, brilliant. Because that'll lead us up into the first kind of chorus
Just
and
play. Oh, no,
first
hang on,
verse
is
sort
that
of thing.
2A? No, there's not, is there? There's not a fill on it. I thought there was.
There's no fill on it, but it's fine. So it's the same as 1A, maybe slightly different effects.
A thing you can do, a trick I often use, is when you get to that 4th bar,
Yep.
just only, can you drag it back? Can you sort of slice it and just play that first beat, so you've got no kicks after that first beat on bar 4?
Yep. So the kick comes out there.
So the kick plays and then the rest doesn't, just on that bar. So
take
I
that out
would normally
completely?
just slice it.
Or do you want me to
Not
slice
completely,
it?
because I want that first click. Yeah, so we slice it if it's possible.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm
everything's
not familiar with
possible.
your
Yeah, look,
software,
so if I zoom in,
Yeah.
where would you like me to slice
you've
it?
got it. You've got it. Yeah, there's fine, because we only
take
just want
out
that
that one?
first kick. No, take out the after that kick. Leave that one in.
Okay, hang on.
Undo that. Yeah.
Take out
Okay,
that
and
instead.
take out the rest. Right. Then we move ahead to the next bar.
Right, I get it. That's
You
brilliant.
see what I'm doing?
Yep.
And then when you come back in, you can
Yep.
put a crash in there or an effect in there, or you can even put a roll. You can even put a drum roll in there for your riser or something.
And then, okay.
Yeah.
So let's listen to the whole thing so far.
Okay.
So no snares. They come in now. And then we begin again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So
But
from bar
when we
5
begin
then,
again. Yeah. Well, if you've already got this copied,
Yep.
you can just copy it over again, copy it in again, save you having to repaste manually.
Okay. I'd have to do the whole thing.
All right. Okay.
No, I mean, having said that, are we changing something else? Are we putting something else in?
We are, but we just want to get the drum loops in first before we start adding, because we're just going to throw the bass in after this. See, with this, when this drops, we're going to throw the bass in.
All right. What I'm going to do then in that case is literally do that and duplicate. And again, it's not put it where I want it, but I'm going to move it to there.
And you can continue the snare in the gaps there where it doesn't exist now. You can put the snare back in.
Okay.
Or it wasn't there in the first place, but you know what I mean. If you put the snare in there,
in that gap there.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that.
There we are. And if we scroll, carry on, sorry. Yeah. Right, so in bar 4, let's have a look at the stems and see if we can find something in bar 4 that we can use as a filler or a riser.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't remember what's there, to be honest with you. There's also a folder full of effects.
Yeah, I see that. You've got effects 2, 3, and 4 here, and you've got a symbol X2 effects further up.
We'll need that.
Yep.
We will need that
For a crash.
Yeah.
Or something. And you've got Hyper Roulette Snare 1.
Trying to think what that is. The only way we're going to find out is to load it. We can always just take it off if we don't want to use it.
Okay, what I'm going to do instead, Wayne,
I think we'll use it all.
Yeah, what I'm going to do instead is this, because when you bring stuff in, it gives you a chance to audition it, but it does come out of really high volume before you bring it into the production. So let me go import file, and we're going to go to downloads, stems. So, for instance, if we wanted to audition FX2, or FX3.
How many bars do you think that is?
Okay. Harmless Melody 2. You've got Silenth, Steinway Gold, Citrus Gold Saw. I'm assuming those are melodies.
These are all used. They are. One of them somewhere has got to be a bass line, surely. Okay. Can you drag that out? So there's nothing more to view, is there?
2 seconds.
Oh, I meant the name column.
I beg your pardon. Sorry. Yep, good point. There we go.
There we are.
So we've got Flex W Harmy Deep EP.
That'll be the bass, I would have thought. No, it's not. Do you know what I made? Just out of interest, I made that from a piano sound.
Wow.
And now it does not sound like a piano at all. It sounds more like string. But bear in mind, a piano is actually string, if you get me.
String but being hammered, yeah.
Yes. But that took some sound engineering to get that sound. And I don't know why I even like it, but you just do these things. I would just grab one of these effects, the shortest possible one.
Okay.
I think it was FX2, wasn't it? Let's just give them a play and see.
FX2 is 19 seconds in total.
And
you're right, 104 BPM is the thing.
Yeah. We'll have that. We'll have it. Even if we have to start it a little early, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So let's open it. And it's on the wrong track, so I'm going to bring it down to here. So it goes, so for instance, if we go back to bar 3.
Yes, we'll have that, but we'll have it quieter.
I like the fact it's got a long tail on it as well, Wayne, so that's great. But it goes
Yeah.
beyond our bar 9, so I might have to cut that off, sort of thing, around about there.
Well, you could fade it down, or that's part and parcel of the process, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. But and it's on its own track, so that's fine. It's a little loud, so I'm going to just drop the volume down slightly.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we can always do this in the mix afterwards. So that's the mixer there. We can always, do a bit of mixing afterwards. So it starts.
Yeah, you start fading it out at bar 6. So if you cut it at 7, and then from 6, can you do that? Can you do a manual fade on that?
It's still going even at 8. That fade out is still going at 8. So I'm going to chop it at 9.
There we are. Yeah.
All right. Just get rid of the end of that, and then I can. Let's just expand these a bit so we can see what's going on. That's not what I'm doing. What am I doing? Okay, excuse me. Let's have a look at normal, medium. Yeah, that's better. Okay, we can see what's going on now. So what I've done is there. So I want to drag that in just to fade out in case it's still going.
There you go.
I'm going to bring it right up to the end of there because it's quite nice. Yeah. So whatever we have on that.
Yeah.
And then we need a bass line going back, there, don't we?
Yeah, we're going back to bar 4.
Okay.
Another effect. Now we're just going to put a cymbal smash, crash, whatever you want to call it, on bar 4. Actually, not bar 4, sorry, bar 5. My mistake.
Bar 5? So to start the next phrase, if you will, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Song, import file. So cymbals 2 sounds like...
That'll do it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to see if there's anything else.
It's quite a sweet one, though. It's not too heavy, or it's not bass heavy,
massive,
that one.
Do you know what I mean? So that's quite good.
Often you put those heavy ones in and they do interfere. You get that. You've got a lot of bass in a production, and even if you do mix it down and take all that high end out that the human ear can't hear, and you take some of that muddiness out, heavy cymbals just wreck that kick in.
Yeah. So let's try this. Go back to bar 3. Here we go. Loud, 4.
There we are. Might want to touch its volume down ever so slightly because it's quite high end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
just going by the levels
on
the software here. I'm not going by the mixer yet, so that's probably
no. You go by what you hear, because obviously I'm hearing something. I'm hearing this second hand, so you go by what you hear. If you're happy with that, it's fine.
Okay, fine. So we're over by 2 dB currently, but that's fine. We've got no processing on that whatsoever. We've got no limiter on the final channel. We've got no limiter on any of the tracks whatsoever. We've not done any of that kind of post-production stuff yet. This is just purely mixing at this stage. So
we'll get this bass line in. We'll get a slight melody in. Any more percussion you want to add, you can look at that list and just decide what you want to add in.
Yeah.
And then we'll start looking at processing.
Okay, cool.
If you're happy with that.
Quick break for a drink. So if you just joined me, welcome along to Love Audio Productions YouTube channel. My name is Paul Webber. Great to be here, and great to have you along as well. My guest today is Wayne Cole. We're just going through some production values here. Wayne, just tell people what we've been going through so far in case they've just joined the stream.
Okay, so I've sent Paul some stems that I made myself, and we're just trying to put them together to create some kind of a track. We're keeping it short for the purpose of this video. We're not going to elaborate too much on it because I want to keep it as simple as possible. These stems are, as I've said before in the video, all wet, so we may need to make some kind of adjustments there. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and it's going quite well so far.
It really is, yeah. Let's play, for those of you who have just joined the stream, thank you for joining. This is a premiere tonight, so I will be on the chat to answer any questions you may have as we go along. But this was pre-recorded, so the video itself is being played as a premiere tonight, so thank you very much indeed for joining. Let's just play this from the beginning, Wayne, and we'll hear what it sounds like. Yeah, that cymbal's really subtle, isn't it?
Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted too much.
And then the bass
See,
line
with the
comes in.
effect from the riser, you don't want to overdo it, but I still wanted the cymbal there.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. And that riser, all that, it's a fall, isn't it? So it's a... But I want the... You can hear the over the top, yeah, which is what I wanted, yeah. Brilliant.
Whether we hear it or not when the bass line plays is another thing. So that's when you make those adjustments.
Yeah. No, and I can start to hear the song forming itself. Do you know what I mean? So we've got the intro, like you say, and it was great. The suggestion you made about on bar 4, just after bar 4, having the first kick drum come in like that, but then have it taken out to then come back in again as the song progresses. I think that's a great idea, and it creates movement in the song.
That's it. It creates what they refer to nowadays as anticipation in the listener.
Yeah.
So and it's everywhere, especially in dance music.
I've got a question for you. And you may hear this in pop songs quite a bit, and we might be able to replicate it here, and I hope we can. Where they do the double bass, where they do the double kick, so it goes dum dum. Have you heard that? I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I love that. How can I create that on here?
Literally just dudum, dudum, dudum.
Well, it's not dudum. It's like dum dum. It's like one after the other, but the same tempo.
I'm just wondering if, because there are many years ago.
Dum dum. It kind of does it twice. I can't explain it.
Oh, I know what they're doing. Yeah, I know it. I know it. I've done it. I know what they're doing.
Okay.
It's basically before that bar kicks in.
Yeah.
You literally just got another beat next to the first beat.
That's right.
So if you like, you've got an offbeat position for the kick drum, and then you start your next bar.
Okay, just give me 2 seconds while I experiment with this a minute. You got me thinking now. So I've got this one here. I'm going to right-click.
Do you use that as a sample? Yeah.
I'm going to use that and copy it, and I'm going to place it here to create that double thing. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So in other words, let's go back to the beginning. It may or may not work, Wayne, so let's experiment with this, okay? So this is it from now. That's the beginning. And we got the snares coming in. Now it stops. Yeah.
Right. Another way of doing this is to actually not put it on the beat, put it off the beat.
Ah.
So where say you would have the middle, you know, when you have a hi-hats and you've got
actually, you know what? I think it's after bar 5. I don't think it's prior. I think it's after. So the doom doom.
Oh no. I've had this issue with when I was doing some DJing and stuff. Yeah. I thought the same thing, and I was dropping the tracks in at that kick.
Yeah.
And it was wrong. So that's how I learnt that it was before.
Let me try this a second. Hang on.
You can still do that. It's fine. But if you go back to
work.
where...
Doesn't work.
Drag it back slightly.
Yeah, it doesn't work the way I wanted it, but in a second. Because we're snapping to beats to bars, so it might not...
you'd need to snap in the middle of where it would normally snap, but prior to that first kick on that bar.
Don't think that's what I'm after. It's so difficult to explain. And on a slower song, it's not quite as obvious as on a faster pop song, which is interesting.
But I know that with the DJing stuff and the mixing of the songs there's this like literally where I would normally expect to hear a hi-hat, offbeat hi-hat, there is a kick before the next kick. So it's literally da-dum, and it's da-dum. So it's like, for example, an odd kick. We'll call it 5, and I'll talk through it this way. So it's like 5-1. So it's like 5-1, 2, 3, 4, 5-1, 2.
Yeah, I don't
3,
think
4.
it's that. I think that's a different. I think that's a different sequence, and I get that, and it sounds great. But the one I'm after is not that, and I'd have to play something with it on, and I can't think of a song right away to kind of give you an example of that. But we can experiment with that another time. So let's bring in some melody now, because here at bar 9 is where we want to go with the song now, if you like. So what do you? Let's go to song. Give me a second. Let's go to song import file. So what we've got is. You've got this hyper roulette snare thing, which goes like this. You've got flex W harmony deep. Which is not really what we want. No. Let's try the harmonious melody.
I'm looking to get the bass in there, to be honest with you.
Nice.
Scroll to the top and see if the bass is up there. Oh, that's nice.
Say again?
Scroll to the top and see if the bass is up there.
Bass deep?
Here we are, deep bass. Yeah. Oh, it's dark, isn't it? We have to get it in there because that's the only bass I've sent you.
Well, I can create a bass line. That's not a problem. If we need one.
Yeah, I have to remember what key this is in. It's probably in
C3.
C. Yeah. So I would put the bass in after that, where that symbol is. Bass 1.
Okay, 2 seconds.
But of course, this is not going to compress, is it?
Not yet, because we've not got any compression across it. We're just going in dry, aren't we? So, excuse me.
So if we put that in on 5.
Track 5?
Yeah. No, sorry, on bar 5. Yeah, track 5, whatever. 6. Yeah, track 5, track 6, bar 5.
What am I doing? Hang on, sorry.
Is that snap? Is it snap turned back?
Well, on? Let's go. Hang on a second. Let's close that down again. Let's try this. So we're not on the right track. So we go here, and we go here. Track, song, import file, bass, open. There you go.
Now, what would normally...
Your face.
I know. Yeah, well, it does actually sound a lot better than I expected, to be honest with you, so I'm pleased with that. But,
good. Well, you created these. I hold my hands up, and I did not create any of this stuff. And, it was great for you to suggest collaborating and bringing this stuff in. And having, it must be weird for you not being hands-on, like not having your software in front of you to work on.
Tiny bit frustrating.
Yeah, you're watching me do it.
It's okay. It's what's to be expected, isn't it? I imagine if I was, I've got young children, so it's not as bad as that.
No, fair enough.
In regards to trying to show them how to do something. I mean, I'm not saying that having kids is bad. It's not. They're great.
No, not at all.
But what surprised me there is how well it sounded, considering that we haven't got any compression or any ducking involved with regards to the kick and the bass. It still sounded pretty good. Because obviously that's not necessarily a post-production thing. It's something I do as I go along.
This is what I'm going to do here. And I'm just playing with ideas currently. Yeah. Okay.
No, help yourself. That's the purpose of it. It's just...
I just want to get it to the end of that bass line there. Bar 13, I think it is. Which is there. Right. So let's say, for instance, we go from bar 5, as you say. Here we go. Sounds slightly detuned as well, that one.
More likely is.
So it drops here. So you get some vocal effects going on. Digga 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 digga. We want something heavy there, though, don't we?
You're missing a loop of beats there as well, drum beats.
Yeah.
Oh, I see why, because you copied that other bit, yeah. We need to put that kick drum back in there.
Yeah, let's let me think. Hang on a second. Um, let's import that again. So we go here. Song, import file. Tap kick. Oh, what am I doing? Don't have to drag it, do I? It'll put it in. There you go. So.
There we go. You could fill that now. You could fill that void.
Yeah.
You don't have to have that.
Because that the bass goes on for quite a bit. But look, if it stops, say for instance it stops there, so
I mean, you don't have to have the break there if you don't want to. It's a fine suggestion because you could have the break there with the bass line still playing, but when the melody kicks in, if you were to add the melody at the same point, you'd have to add half the melody because that's also in 8 bars and start from bar 5.
Okay.
If you get me.
So melody going in here where the bass starts.
Or you could just leave it as it is and then paste the next bass line in the next 8 bars of bass and have your melody join it
there
as normal.
Yeah. Is there any reason?
I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to complicate things. I wouldn't, because as you said, this is all tutorial. It's learning, and we're bumbling through it as well. So just keep it easy.
And the reason I get the reason that it's extended with a gap is that you've got effects on there.
Yes, that's what I meant by wet. These are wet, so you will get these little bit of overlay here, but you'll need it.
I can if you just excuse me a second.
You hear the reverb?
Yep. So it stops round about there. So I'm going to just cut that off so it's neater. And then erase that bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. So if I, let's say for instance, if I duplicate that to there, it's not there though, is it? It's actually a
drag
bar
it back.
But I might have to put it on a separate track to make it overlap.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to go up and down, won't you, through if that's what it takes. But it needs to, that's it. It needs to go right back there. So, there you go.
For instance.
Nice. We need to put that kick loop back in. Remember, we only took it out for that effect before a break.
Yeah, we did.
Before a drop.
Yeah. So currently we've got this big gap at 9.
You don't have to have that. You can just fill it with your percussion. It's up to you.
Okay. So we've got 3 more tracks to put stuff on. We can always make more tracks. It's not a problem. But obviously for the purposes of the video, we're trying to keep it simple as possible. So we need to put some melody in here, I think. Wayne, don't you?
Yeah. I got 2 ideas.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 parts to the melody. There's one is quite edited, so there's not much to it.
Okay.
And you could use that to introduce the melody.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one that is like more full on.
And where would you bring that in? Let's have a look at the whole project. So where would you bring that in? Which bar are we talking?
Well, I would have brought the whole thing in on 13.
Okay.
I might have introduced it at
11?
bar 9, but I could only introduce half of it because of the way I've done these stems.
Yeah.
You'd have to slice the intro type melody into 4 bars, and it would be the second set of 4 you'd want.
Okay.
Where that bass line plays on its own, so it wouldn't be soloing the bass line. You'd have a bit of melody.
Okay, well, let's go to track 8, and we'll bring a melody in, and we'll see what we can do with it with doing that. So with regards to the melody, we've got harmless melody 1, harmless melody 2. So 1 goes like this.
1. It's a lot longer than I expected.
26 seconds in total, but that might include the trail off.
16 bars. Yeah. Bring it in.
Number 2 is...
Yeah, that's the full-on version of it.
Yeah. So let's go with harmless melody 1 then in that case.
Yeah.
We'll bung that in here. Hear
Oh,
that
it's not too
sounds
long.
first?
Sorry, it's fine. So you want to, yeah. This is the bit we don't want.
Pardon?
We want to slice it. See where down? If you go down to line 30, bar 13,
Yep.
slice it down there,
Okay, interesting.
and then we're going to drag it back 4 bars.
You're
So
okay
we'll
to
cut
slice it there, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then delete the
non-destructive
bit
editing.
before it.
So remove the first one.
Yeah. And drag it back to the bass solo. That's it. Forward.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, to bar 9.
9. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then we're going to bring in the full melody
Yep.
at bar, I'll just have a look now, bar 13.
Okay, so we'll get the line just there. Song, import file. Harmless Melody 2. Click open. So it sounds like, if we go back here a little bit, quite a lot going on now, haven't we? So let me go to small.
Have we filled those drum loops?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Let's go to normal. Nice. Actually finishes quite well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't forget, we're creating a very, very short song here, almost like
Yes,
a
we
jingle.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, this sort of work takes a lot of hours normally, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. And we're trying to condense it into like an hour. So, yeah, we're not doing bad.
Yeah, I like that. We get those drum beats in there, and then
just run through what you want me to do with the drum beats on the top panel here, Wayne. We might have to drag some more things in, but that's fine.
I think with from bar 5 to bar 9, you can put the full set in.
Okay.
Remember
with
that was
drop?
copied. Yeah, we might do something different there because we've used that drop already. That drop idea. Not that we can't use it again, but not so soon.
I see what you mean. Okay.
I'm being pedantic, really, but a lot of this is about being a perfectionist, isn't it? When it comes to these things.
Yeah, it is.
And it's really hard to switch off. And I know I probably should because this is just teaching. It's just learning. It's bumbling through and so on.
I'm going to duplicate that, but bring it back to there.
Yeah, remember there's 1A and 2A. So
yeah, I've got two lots of 1A.
I would do 1A, 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 and then 2A.
Yeah, good idea. Right click and duplicate that. Bring it back to there. And then in here, bar 8.
Yeah.
Bring in 2A.
Yes.
2A kick. Like that. So now it goes.
And now, yeah, go on. Go on, give it a run.
So after bar 9, what do you want in there? Or, do you want us to continue something there?
I was thinking if you wanted to have a listen to some of the samples, some of the loops, and see if you can come up with an idea of what you want to put in there.
I'd like to put some hand claps in there because the claps are not visible yet or not audible yet.
No, they're not present yet. So I mean, there is a slight clap on the snare. It's a snare clap sample, but it needs to be enhanced with a proper human, sounding clap.
Definitely. Okay.
But with this drop, when that melody kicks in there in that break, whether you put a cymbal in there or an effect, it's up to you.
Let's listen to this a minute. Okay, and then this one. I like 2 better. So
yeah, it's got a pre. What do you call it? It's like a pre-reverb or a pre-delay.
Yeah. So look here, duplicate.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
okay.
idea, this, Paul.
Watch this. I can just go Control D. Does that work? No. Shift.
Can you do Control B? Does that not shove it across?
So I've just duplicated it 3 times. So what I'm going to do is bring it back to the loop. Like so. That fills that gap. What I want to do is
and you can
highlight all
continue
3 and bring more volume up so we can hear it.
Okay.
I'd like a drum fill here, just before bar 13.
Okay. I believe there's one there.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'm going to put it on the same track as the drum loop on FX. No, I beg your pardon. Drum loop on track 2. I'm going to put it on track 2. So let's go
Save
song,
some space there.
import file. Don't know. I don't know. There's a fill. What about that?
Can you pre-listen to that? I'm just wondering why that's so long.
No, I like the second one. Let me think. There's some chords in here as well, which we haven't added yet.
Oh, forgot about them.
That's nice.
Oh, they're lush.
Yeah.
All right, it's in 2 octaves. You've got a choice. You could even layer them.
Okay, I like the silent chords, the 440s. They're good. But anyway, we're talking about this fill, so I'm going to put in the where is it? That's the other one. Yeah.
Don't forget, you can chop that if you want to keep it short.
Sure. Go back from here. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really works. That melody's really
Good
high,
use.
so I'm going to drop the volume of that down.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, I didn't make a main melody as such, so that melody is really just sort of like a lead or a backing sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. I like the way that fill comes in as well, so that drum loop is good, but I'll just increase the volume slightly of that. Yeah. So it's got some accent on it, you know?
Yeah, but put the symbol that's on 5.
Yep.
Copy that to 13.
Bar 5 or, I beg your pardon? Oh, symbol,
It's
beg
on
your
bar
pardon.
5.
This one here,
yeah. Yeah, if you copy that to bar 13. And there we go. You're not coming in empty then, so to speak.
Yep, I agree with that.
Obviously, this is going to be filled with the kicks and percussion.
Say again?
Obviously, that section there where it ends is going to be filled with the kicks and the percussion.
Okay, so we can drag some of this in if we need to, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether you want to add some pads to that melody, whether you want to.
I like the chords, so I would like to bring the drums in and the chords to kind of give it a crescendo at the end. So
yeah,
that might be nice. I'm going to add some tracks in that case because we don't have enough.
I mean, it is the case that we don't have to use every stem.
No,
they're just
not.
There. Yeah, they're just there. If you know.
That stereo track. You hear the birds?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do on track 11 then, in that case, is bring in from bar. What are we? Where's the drum beat finish off? 17. We're going to be. Yeah, from 17 on track 11, we'll bring in those chords.
Yeah, definitely. It's the right place.
Boink. like that. So it goes like this.
Problem. Right, now initially that stem should line up with the melody. So if you're going to bring it in there, again, you're going to have to chop it in half.
Okay. Well, I could bring it in here instead.
Yeah.
Works.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
because then it finishes
and,
at the same
and to
time
be
as
honest with
this.
you, the chord should have been in a bit earlier anyway. So
yeah,
well, there's no real set rules. If you don't change the rules, then everyone's doing the same thing. But yeah, that's where I'd prefer it.
But I'm going to bring in that higher one. I'll show you what I mean.
You're going to fade it in?
I'm going to bring in number 2.
Right.
Just slightly higher in there, but I'm going to chop it. So
yes, yeah.
Let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now. So I need to bring that back.
Bring it all the way back to line up to the, because their notes are the same, but on obviously a different octave.
Yeah.
So if you bring it all the way back.
Okay, hang on. What, and then chop it?
Yes. You're going to bring it in halfway through that phrase,
I was, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to need to chop it halfway in.
Yeah. Can you remember what bar it was? Probably 17.
How many bars is it? It's 16 bars, and you need to chop it at 8, wouldn't you? I mean, you have to chop it from 9.
Yeah, but it's not, is it? So it's coming in at 13 and going through 13. To 20. Well, 21 is where the music ends.
Play it for a second. Let's have a listen, and I'll count in my head.
I think from there, 1, 2,
there,
3,
17.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, end.
Yeah, it's a 32 bar phrase, so cut it at 16 after the 16th bar, so that's at 17 on the grid.
That's right, yeah, got that. So I'm chopping the first one to just have the second one finish.
You're going to change. I see what you're doing. Yeah. I wasn't following. So basically, you're going from one octave to the other. So you're going to chop both, basically.
I'm going to keep them. Keep them both to start with, but then just drop the lower one. Here, and I'll show you what I mean. So it starts from here and goes. That's both playing now.
Yeah.
Like that. That's lovely. And just the higher one to finish.
Yeah. I would have, not been picky, but I would have faded it out.
Say again?
I would have faded it out, the lower octave, rather than cut it out.
Edit, undo, delete. This would be interesting. This would be
but fade it out quite quickly, just a few seconds. Yeah, that'll be fine anyway. So. Nice fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? It's good.
I don't understand people who don't do this.
Well, because it takes up so much time, and you know this, Wayne. You could be here for hours, couldn't you? Literally, on one particular project, and that's why a lot of bedroom mixers don't release anything, because they just spend hours working on it, and
guilty.
Yeah, and a friend of mine who does a YouTube channel says that you could ruin it by spending too much time on it. You're better off doing it for like 2 or 3 hours, walking away from it, getting a fresh pair of ears to hear it as well, not just your own, and say, what do you think of this? And then play it back through decent speakers or decent headphones or whatever, and then get their feedback on it as well, because otherwise, you and I have been here for like over an hour now doing just this, and we've got barely 60 seconds of work in. It's just what?
Yeah, that's how it is. But there's the other thing as well. You're listening to it constantly and continually, the same phrases over and over again, and if there is anything wrong in that sound, your brain adjusts itself to it.
Yes, it does.
So you have to stop. You have to stop and come back to it, and you go, "Oh my God, why did I leave that bass so loud, or why did I leave that sound so quiet?"
Well,
because all the time you were previously struggling to hear it, and your brain was happy to do that.
Yeah. We haven't even mixed yet, and we're 20 dB over, so we're putting a lot of information in here. Pardon?
We can always do part 2.
That's true. If you want a part 2, drop it in the comments. Wayne and I are happy to come back and do a second part of this, and we'll finish off and do the mastering and stuff like that as well. So, and we haven't even tweaked any of the faders yet. So, and we can put automation on it and all that kind of stuff, and all that nice stuff that we haven't even touched on yet as regards audio production.
I will add to that with what you mentioned with regards to the faders there on the mixing desk.
Yeah.
All these stems were exported at the volume I had them on the mixing desk.
Oh.
So that might be why you might not have to make too many adjustments. Any adjustments you do make there will be your own creativity. That'll be up to your own preference.
Absolutely. Well, and also to make sure we've got some headroom to put vocals on there, because there's no vocal tracks on there at all yet. So what I mean by headroom, for those of you who don't know, is to give yourself enough room in the mix in order to put other instruments in, like a voice, for instance, or whatever. And currently we don't have a lot of room there. So what we're going to do is drop everything down, and or get a compressor to drop everything down, or a limiter to drop everything down, but to give us enough headroom so we've got the vocal treatment in there as well. So that's maybe another issue, another episode.
Yeah, and we can also put a limiter as well with regards to the kick drums and the bass. That has to be done as well. I don't think it's a
bad sound. You've created a good sound there anyway. So to me, it sounds great. But I think
bass yeah. So I was just going to say that bass as well is prime for filtering. It sounds amazing when it's filtered.
Right.
So just to mention that. So.
Okay, well, like I say, maybe for another episode. But listen, Wayne, I want to thank you so much for coming on board today and giving us the stems to work with. It's been fun, and like I say, we can always get you back in, and we'll do a part 2 where we put some production elements on it and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's been really good. So, thanks for hanging out. And just give us an idea of where people can find you as regards Mixcloud and YouTube and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I'm as myself as Audio Coaster on SoundCloud. That needs to be changed because I haven't been on there much lately.
Okay.
You can find me on Twitch at DJ Wayne Live. You can find me on Mixcloud at DJ Wayne Live.
Brilliant.
I do have a YouTube channel. That's under Wayne Cole. You just search my name on that one.
Okay.
But like I said, there's not a lot going on there at the moment. I've a fantastic remix of the model on there that's doing really, really well. 46 or 47,000 likes, but that's really it there.
That's great.
Yes, I know. It's not my money though, is it?
Well, no, that's true. Yeah, but if you put your own stuff out there like this, and you never know who anybody's going to hear it. They might go, oh, actually, we'd like to sign you, or or like you just never know, do you?
Oh, no, I have never known, and I've had some requests for that remix as well, but I can't do anything about it. It's all down to the copyright holders, and I'm just glad and happy that they've allowed it to stay on there.
Yeah, definitely, and without getting a copyright strike either, which is great. So. Yeah. But it's your work in the remix, so it's not anybody else's work except yours. So that's really good as well.
Yeah. So for anything else, it's DJ Wayne Live.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just do a bit of housekeeping here. So let me tell you that you can always get in touch with the show by emailing. That's hello@loveaudio.co.uk. Drop that email into your email box. Send me an email if you've got any questions about tonight's episode or anything else and you'd like us to cover in the future. Then please do let me know. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do so. Click the bell icon as well. That'll let you know when we go live next, which is generally Monday night at 8 p.m. British summertime. And obviously that's different from around the world, wherever you are. If you would like to have a look at the merchandise, you can always go to loveaudiosmerchstore.com. T-shirt like the one I'm wearing right now, and mugs as well. You can get those from loveaudiosmerchstore.com, or check out the website loveaudio.co.uk. Okay, so that is pretty much it, I think. Let's go. There we go. So thanks very much for watching this premiere. And like I say, I'll be answering your questions in the chat as well. If you're watching this on a playback, if you want any comments answered, then drop them in the comments, as I say, and I will get round to answering them as soon as I possibly can. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Wayne, my guest. Let's go back to his little side by side there. Thank you again, Wayne, for your input today, and thank you so much for letting us use your stems, your musical stems, which has been fantastic. And look forward to speaking to you on maybe round 2.
Happy to do so.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much indeed. All right, take care.